everyone, and welcome to Soul Exposure Sundays with Autumn Moon. I am happy to be here. Another gorgeous day here in the Hudson Valley. The wind just picked up a little as I started this, but today I'd like to talk about spiritual awakenings. So I myself, I've had two big spiritual awakenings, sprinkled with a bunch of many spiritual awakenings along the way. Some people have one, some people have none. But chances are, if you're here watching this video, you've either had one or you're curious about them. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience and what I have found, like my friends and other people who have experienced after their awakenings. And now I know it's a time that can be very exciting and illuminous, and we could probably get a little ahead of ourselves because we just want to obtain all the knowledge. Like our life has changed. You know, we've had an awakening of our spirit, and now everything's different. We can't look at the world the way we used to. And so it's a very awesome time and exciting, but it can also be a little uncertain, uncharted territory type uncertain, because it's not like we're given a handbook, right? I mean, maybe somebody has a book that's like a handbook, right, on how to move through your spiritual awakening. And I'm sure it has great tips and everything, but the truth is, your spiritual awakening is your own. It's your own personal journey. And even though we are on this journey together, it's sacred in the fact that it is our own growth to essentially become one with our soul, right? As we're here as human earthlings on earth. And it's a beautiful thing. One of the things that comes up for me is I feel like shortly after one of my big spiritual awakenings, I have like a soul nudging, right? So my soul is nudging me in one direction, and I feel the past conditioning of myself holding me back, you know, from exploring that. And so that could be tough. I found it's easier talking to other people who have experienced it. Now, this was something I wasn't used to. If you've seen my other videos, I think I've mentioned that I haven't really opened myself up to others, like in a big way, until last year, until 2020. You know, I wouldn't say this burden alone, but I carried this alone. I carried the fact that the way I thought, the way I felt, because anybody I was talking to just hadn't had those experiences, or were just on the edge of having. I just kind of felt like lost in my own path, and until I started sharing it with others, and then it's like a whole nother world opened up, and it was like an epiphany that I could communicate what I'm going through to other people who are experiencing the same thing. And there's something to that. There's like a magic that happens, and everybody grows like together, like a newly planted garden, right? Everyone's just like just coming up. So there's like the honeymoon period of the spiritual awakening. So yay, everything's great. My soul is awakened. I feel awesome. I'm gonna learn everything. I'm gonna teach everything. I gotta tell the masses about this. There's a lot of that. But then there's a second part to the spiritual awakening, and that is shadow work. because unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to see it, when we have this awakening, we come to realize that we have been behaving in a certain manner that allows us to live here on Earth, with other Earthlings and so on. So the shadow work comes in because I believe that the shadow work, the shadows are our past wounds, but mostly made up of defense mechanisms that at one point kept us protected. So that's why we used them. But now that we've had our awakening, it's just getting in the way. It's getting in the way of everything. It's getting in the way of our growth. It's getting in the way of us furthering our life, of us shining our light so bright, which is the purpose why we're all here, right? And so it's something that needs to be confronted. Now, I have three super suggestions for when you're doing shadow work. Do not do it alone. Please do not do it alone. Shadow work is an in-depth look at the things we've kept hidden for sometimes a really long time. And there's a reason why they've been kept hidden. So dredging this stuff up alone is a recipe for disaster. I would contact somebody, it could be a trusted guide, a friend, somebody that you've done work with, healing work or something like that. But do it with somebody else, preferably somebody who has been through maybe similar experiences. Doesn't have to be the same exact thing, but similar experiences. Because that's where we're going to feel like we're carried through, and that people hold that space for us. And that's essential. So not alone, trusted guide, and take it slow and stay balanced through it all. Because it's so heavy and so deep of work, a lot of times we'll have that chatter in our head saying, hurry up, I want to get this done, like, now. And that's just gonna cause anxiety and depression, because it's a bombardment of feeling certain ways. When we dredge this stuff up, we feel that stuff again, and if you're an empath, that could be some rough stuff to go through. So like piecemeal, little bites, work on one little thing, and then, and just feel into it, If you start seeing yourself being angry all the time, or sad, or hurt, or acting out and taking it out on other people, put the brakes on. It's not the end of the world. We've all gone through everything, and it just takes time. It just takes time. We can't rush through these things. Our soul is more important, trust me. And I guess, what else did I want to say? And that everybody just has their own unique experience. Even though we're on this journey together, some people are not, some people are just awakening, like right now, as we speak. And some people have awakened many moons ago. Some people have had multiple awakenings. And some people are just, just trudging through, just looking around for other people who might understand what they're talking about. And it's important that we remain respectful and caring and loving to people who may not be at our level. I see that sometimes, and it breaks my heart. And I can't say I'm rendered white as snow either. I've felt that way before. But that's usually when I'm not in a good place. Because nobody's better than or less than anyone else. And that's why it's so important for me to stay right-sized. Because it's just the way I like to live. We're all here meant to shine our light and love. And so that's what I hope we do. One day at a time, one step at a time, but together, you know. And ask for help if you need it. You know, don't be shy. There's plenty of people out there, and I really feel that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I did want to pull one card from the Star Seeds. It's Nari Anastasia. Cute little deck here. Just a little message to leave you with. Ooh, intuition. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek.